Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create this kind of ghost character in Moho from scratch. Don't really need any kind of drawing skills for this, it's quite simple. I'll just show you the character real quick and then we'll start from the scratch and you can do it along with me if you want to. So this is the character. We've got the head turn. We've got a blink, and if you go up it also enlarges the eyes. We've got a mouth which we can open and close like this, which is quite funny. We've got ooh and an ah kind of shape and you can change. Just put that to the centre. And we've got this top bone here which controls the top part of the ghost. We've got the root bone which controls everything of the ghost. And then these three bones down here are actually just connected to these bottom vectors of the ghost, and they are dynamic bones which just kind of move with motion, if that makes sense. So if he swings to the left, these are gonna just kind of naturally go with the momentum of the character using dynamic bones. So as you can see, they've got the torque, the spring and the damping on them, and it gives it quite a cool effect. I'll just show that real quick to you here with this kind of quick animation I've done for him. You can see how the bottom of him is moving by itself. These aren't animated keyframes, these are just literally what the software is making the bones do naturally with physics. So yeah, let's play that animation again. And we can play it with a background that I've made just to give it that kind of haunted mansion kind of feel. I'm thinking like a ghost that's scared. It's like a scared ghost, which doesn't make sense, but it's just kind of a funny concept to me. Right, so that's the character, and he goes off shot in the end. There you go. The character is going to be split up into three sections: so the face, the body, and then this back body shape down here. As you can see, it's just a shape behind. So yeah, let's start from the start. I'm gonna hide that. I'm gonna bring this here. I'm gonna hide that ghost, and no, I'm gonna start a new project. Why not? Let's literally start from the start. I'm gonna make sure my project is on 1080p. So open up the project settings, and we want the 1080p HD TV. And I'm gonna animate it on 2s. So I think that's automatically done, to be fair. Or we can just do it down here. Here. Excuse me now. Excuse me. A little bit ill right now, but we're powering through. Okay, so start off with, because he's a ghost, he's going to be like a transparent white color. So I need a background that I can see what I'm doing on. So I'm just going to create a new vector. I'm going to create a darker shade for this square, just as a backdrop, and just do that like that. I might even go a little bit darker. Like that, that works. Okay. So that's just going to be called the background layer. We'll just BG it for now. Add a new vector layer. Let's call this body. Body of the ghost. So the main body. I'm going to get my draw tool. I'm going to add points. And then let's just draw a ghost shape. Again, I know I said you don't need to draw well, but you don't need to draw well for a ghost shape. Anyone can draw a ghost shape. Let's get into it. I'm just going to draw him like this. Try and copy the points that I put on that side to this side. I guess I could actually just do this. Draw that like that. Just draw these kind of ghosty kind of shapes here. And then let's just do this. We can tweak these lines now anyway, don't worry about that. They're a little bit messy. Auto weld turned on so these points just stick together. You'll hear a little clicking noise. Okay, let's just get these looking a little bit cleaner. Just gonna move some of these points about. Just like that. This is looking a bit. This needs to come down, I think. Okay. That should do. I'm gonna add another point there just for the dynamic bones so that it moves a little bit better. Okay, so that's the basic shape of a ghost. I'm gonna hit U on the keyboard to get the select shape, or select create shape tool. I'm gonna get the fill color to be a slightly off white, maybe something like that. And then the line I want to be grey, and I want it to be this. I've created like a kind of a nice, I'd say like a ghosty, smoky kind of brush style. So it's this second one in the brush settings, and then these are my settings for the line itself. I've got line boil turned on. Randomness interval is every 2 frames it's going to boil. It just gives it that kind of movement effect to it when it's stationary, I guess. And yeah, you can see all the settings there. I'm gonna hit OK. I'm gonna go create both on this and create that shape. Now we now have a shape of the ghost. If you want to move some points afterwards, you can do. I'm just seeing some things here I'm not quite happy with, but that's okay. That works now. That's perfect. Okay, next I want to make the back part of the ghost. So I'm going to create a new vector layer. I'm going to call this body behind, or whatever. That's fine. And then I'm going to get the draw tool again. I'm just going to start here at some points, just get this slightly off here so we can see it's behind. There we go. We just need something behind that can move as well. Again, just move these points. This is just the back part of the ghost now. So it looks like he's kind of, he's a sheet with like the inside of it, if that makes sense. So he's like draped down, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Right, let's select that shape. The fill color, I want to do it slightly darker. Let's go to a darker grey. And the line color, slightly darker again, I guess. Create that shape. Okay, that's that shape created. We can move that shape behind the body now because it should be behind. And now you can see it's got this kind of effect of being a shape with an inside to it. You could reach up inside this shape now. Yeah, okay. Let's add a new layer. I'm going to call this just the face layer. That's what we'll call that. The face layer. That works. Now, do we want to have? Just trying to think. I think we do. I think we want the eyes. Let's call it eyes. Sorry, and then we'll add another one called mouth. Just because I want to group these for when we do the head turn. So the eyes, let's start with the eyes first. We all know how to do an eye. We just get the circle tool. You can play with the design as much as you want here, guys. Just have a play, see what works for you. I'm going to go with this kind of style this time, kind of long eyes. I might even shear that shape like that. Copy it, paste it, flip it, and then there's the other eye. Hit U. I'm going to make this into a shape. Don't worry about the fill because this is going to be masked by the body. Line is fine. Create that shape. Same here. Create that shape. Now we need the mouth. So let's go to the mouth. I guess you could keep the eyes with the grey interior because it looks like it's inside. Yeah. In the previous file, I actually did the eyes transparent, so it was like see-through, as you can see here. But I think this might be slightly better. So the mouth. Let's add some shapes to the mouth. Add point tool. Freehand. No, add point tool. That's what I want. Oh, stroke. No, just add point. Let's go and just create a mouth. Just whatever you think works. Again, doesn't need to be anything fancy. Just as long as it looks like a mouth. Again, press U. Make that a shape. And there's the mouth. Okay, perfect. If you want to, you can select both these layers and just rescale them. I might make the eyes a little bit smaller. I quite like this kind of design feel with the small eyes and the big mouth. I think it's quite funny. Let's make the mouth. Can bring the mouth up. Yeah, that works. Okay, so we got the ghost. Stage 1 done. Let's just group these two layers to the face group, and then we've got the body and the body behind there. And let's group these and make it the ghost main group, which we're going to make it a bone group. So convert it to a bone layer. Right, now we're going to add the bones. So make sure you're on frame 0 for all this, by the way. Get the bone tool, add bone. Let's make a main bone for the root, main one for the body, and then let's grab that root bone again, just so it's these 3 bones will be parented to the root bone. Let's make one here. Same again, grab this bone, another one here, grab this bone, and another one here. That's fine. Let's select the strength bone tool and turn down the strength on all the bones. We're not going to worry about that in this one. Okay, that's done. Right, now we need to start parenting these to the bones, making the bones control the correct part of the ghost. So let's grab this root bone is going to be for the whole thing. That'll be fine. That's going to be, so let's grab the main body bone, Alt right click on the body, and then we're going to, maybe I should have made the face bone as well. I'm thinking about it. I think I should have. Should I have face bone? I don't think we need one. I don't think we need one, no. Okay, so let's select the body, hit I for select points. We're going to select all these top points here for the body, hit enter, and that's binded them points to that bone. Alt click on this bone here, and we're going to bind these points here to that bone. Alt left click on this one. I'm going to bind these points to this one. Alt left click here. I'm going to bind the remaining points to this one. I'm going to open up this back layer. So Alt right click on that vector layer, and that's kind of opened up these points. So we're going to bind these points to this layer. Alt here, these points to this layer, and then Alt click. I don't know if I've done the right points, but we'll see. And then these points to that layer. Is that right? Let's have a look at that. Yeah, that's looking right to me. It's looking the same. Yeah, it's the same. It's just them 3, which are, yeah, I think this one needs, oh, excuse me, I'm just rotating the canvas. I think that one needs this bone too. Yeah, like that. And then we're going to Alt left click here and bind the rest of the points to that body bone, the main one. Now, if we were to test this, I hope that it should work. Yeah, okay, that is controlling them ones, and that is controlling that, that's controlling that, and that is controlling that. Cool. And I think the root should control it, yeah. Now we need to bind the face to this one. So we're going to right click on the mouth layer, and I think we just bind the layer to that bone. Same with this, bind the layer to that bone. Now let's test that again. There you go, that's cool, that works. Now these 3 bones down here, we want to select them. We're gonna add the dynamics to this now. I'm gonna go bone constraints here, this tab, bone dynamics tick. Then we want to tick the angle box. We want the torque to be 0.30ish maybe. The spring, we'll bring the spring down. It didn't want the spring too quick back to position. It is a, you know, a kind of a cloth after all. Damping 2, and we'll give it a weight of 2.95ish. I don't know, let's have a look at that. I think that's the around the same I used in my last rig. To test this now, we're going to quickly animate this. We're going to grab this on frame 1. Let's move it this way. Let's go to frame 18, move him this way, and then move him back this way. And this has been set to step for some reason. We need to set it to, let's go smooth. You can see now how that is independently moving from the top bone, and it's giving it this nice kind of cloth effect, which is really cool. It's very simple, and it saves us a lot of time not having to animate this secondary action. It just does it in the software, which is just super cool. Okay, we can just delete these keyframes now. Brilliant. Okay, let's start kind of doing some smart actions with the face bones. Let's add some face bones so we can control the eyes and the mouth. So we're going to go back to the bone layer. I'm going to select just click off there so we've not selected any bones. Let's add a bone let's add a blink bone. Yeah, let's go blink. So add a bone, select it, we'll call it blink. At the top, show label, and then we're going to go angle constraints. We just want it to be just down and up, I guess. So yeah, up would be open and down would be closed. Turn down the bone strength. Make sure you're on frame 0. Open up your actions panel. If you haven't got the actions panel on the side, you just want to go to your window tab and then click on the actions here, or Control K, and it should come up. Add an action. It will be called the same name as what the bone's called. Hit OK. Let's just go to frame 96 and hit T to transform the bone. Bring it down to there. Again, it's come up as a step because I've got it set to step. Silly. I need to actually sort that out really. So let me come off that for a minute, and let's just take this off. Put on smooth. Put on linear. Back to the blink. Sorry about that, guys. So that's when that comes down to there now. We want these eyes to blink. So we've Alt right clicked on the eyes layer. We're on frame 96. I'm gonna just manipulate these points to a blink shape, just like that. We'll do the same here. Manipulate these points. Maybe stretch it out this way a little bit. And then you can see this weird shape here. We're going to hit C, and we're just going to make these points sharp. So it's more of a squeezed blink. Perfect. So now when it comes up and out like that, I mean, do ghosts blink? I guess they do now, so that's fine. That's the blink sorted. Let's come out of that. Oh, and by the way, we also want to make sure that this bone follows the whole character, so because it's not parented to anything right now, let's go back to the bone layer. Let's add a bone just at the top, any kind of let's just add it here. Well, it doesn't matter where we put it really. Call this target bone. It's just so we can parent these bones for the face to this, which is going to be targeted to the root bone, and it's going to follow the root bone. To do that, select the bone, constraints, and then the position is going to, I think it'll be B1, which would be the root bone. And yeah, that works. B1, parent the blink bone to that B1. And now, if my calculations are correct, which they usually are not, this should, yeah, okay, cool, it does follow it everywhere we go. That's great, okay. That's handy to know that that works. And this works, we've got a blink. Let's do a mouth bone now. Make sure you select no bone for this, it isn't parent to anything right now. Let's add another bone here, call it mouth. I'm trying to do this as fast as I can, guys, because I don't want it to be a drag for you guys watching this. Show label so we can see what it's called here. I'm putting in capital letters because that's playing with my OCD a little bit. Okay, and then we want constraints on this too, angle constraints. So that's going to be open. I guess we want when it comes down to be closed, right? So the angle constraints like that. You can see how the constraints come into play here with these two lines that are kind of shown. So yeah, now make sure it's frame 0 on the bone layer, add a new action, mouth, frame 90. I always go to frame 96. I don't know why, it's just something I always tend to do. Let's bring that bone right down this way. So when that bone, we're telling this software, when this bone is pulled down to here, we want this mouth to do this. So let's just scale it this way a tad. We're going to just close this mouth now. As best we can. Just get this mouth looking like it's closed. Is that alright? Does that work? Yeah, that's mouth closed, I guess. That works. And then let's come out of there, back to the main line. Let's just test that real quick. Oh, bone strength. Always remember to turn down your bone strength as well, guys, because it's going to start affecting things otherwise. Yeah. That's fine. And then we're going to parent that to this target bone here. So that will follow the character too. We want a mouth shape that's going to go to like an O shape, so let's add a new bone for that. So A to add a new bone, mouth, here, let's do this. Just call it O. O. That's what we'll call it. And O. Show label. Again, angle constraints. That is fine. Strength all the way down. And then let's add an action for this now. So O from 96. When it goes down to the O, let's bring it down. This would be when it goes to O. Select the mouth layer. I might use the magnet tool for this, just to shape my O mouth. You know, magnet tool is quite handy for that sometimes. Just for moving points around a little bit faster. Okay, this is looking a little bit off. Let's go in and start being a bit more careful with the points we're moving, because this is not looking like an O right now. There you go, there's an O. There's a no. We can maybe scale it down as well. That might be funny. They're really small though. Ooh. Ooh, okay. That's like what ghosts say, right? Back to the main line. And then let's just add another one for the R side. So another action. Frame 96, bring the bone to the top this time. Mouth layer. I mean, it kind of already is an R shape, isn't it, really? But let's make it like a scared R. So he's like, ah, this kind of shape. Yeah, that works. Okay. Now I'm just dawdling. Okay, that works. Back to the main line. Parent that bone to the target bone again. Like that. We're going to do one more bone and we're going to make it a head turn bone. Okay, so new bone. Make sure no bone selected. We're going to put it on top. Call this head turn. I need to put in capital letters again, my bad. Show label. Let's give it some bone angle constraints. 90 and 90. Now I want this to control this layer ideally. I don't know if I'll be able to, but let's have a look. So if I was to, I feel like I need to set this up so the eyes and the mouth are gonna be a mask to the body, if that makes sense. And for that to happen, I need to put the body in this folder. Is that going to affect anything? I don't think it is. I think that's fine. We're going to find out. This is all trial and error, guys. I want to make this a masking layer. Hide all, apply. And yes, I think that should be right. So now when I go into this head turn bone and I make a new action for it, frame 98. Let's get this bone this way. So when the bone goes that way, we want this See, I want to move the mouth and the eyes layer wise. I want the layers to, oh, I can do that. I can do that. To do this. That's what I want. I want the layers to do this. And we can do that. That's great. Let's do that. So it goes like that. Yeah, that works. That's kind of what's happening, right? Eyes in the mouth. Yeah, that works. And then while it does that, I guess we want it to scale a bit as well. So it's not just moving out, but it's also getting shallower. Okay, that's cool. Back to the main line, and then we'll do the same for the other way. And we also want to change that bone strength, guys. We haven't done that. So select that bone, add a new action, head turn 2, frame 96 again. Let's get this bone looking this way now. Select these two, get the layer transform, and then let's do this. Yeah, that works. Okay, it's just simple, guys. It's not nothing fancy, but I mean it works. It works. That's all that matters. So yeah, we got the head turn, and that should mean that even when we blink now, it doesn't affect the vector points on these layers. It's just because it's moving the layer itself rather than the points. if that makes sense. It's not going to affect that, which is cool. I had that issue in my last rig, and I wanted to correct it in this rig, so yeah, you're not making the same mistake I made. So that's basically it, I think. I mean, we need to just add a background in now, and we got it. So let's add in that background we had from this set. Can I just copy this layer maybe? Edit, copy layer. We can copy layers. That's brilliant. Let's go here, edit, paste layer. Perfecto. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. If I had a quick mute button on my mic, I would use it, but I haven't, so you have to deal with the cough. So this background I kind of quickly thrown together in Photoshop. It's just using different assets, different PNGs, and then adding effects over them, so it gives it a bit of drama, and yeah, just being lazy by not drawing it, basically. But let's animate this ghost, guys. Let's hide this background now, we don't need that. So the ghost. Few things. Let's make him transparent. So let's double click on the main ghost bone. I'm going to make him 75% transparent. Yeah, that works. Let's just do a quick render of that, see how that's turning out. Yeah, that works. I don't think you guys can see that render because it's off screen, but if I just shrink it down a bit again, let's render it again, and you can see down here, that's the render. Okay, cool. So we got let's start him here. Okay, that's just animated that point, actually. Ignore that. Go frame 1. Let's grab the root bone, and then he's a bit big, isn't he? Maybe we need to transform him down a bit first. Let's transform him down to about this size, so he's coming in. We want him to come in from this way. He's going to zoom in to here. Oh, this head turn isn't parented to the... Okay, we've made a mistake in the rig. Let's select this bone, parent it to this bone, and this bone, because it's not even getting used, we can just make it a shy bone now. And now, there you go, the head turn is going with the character. So let's animate him coming here first, and then he's going to come back towards this way. I'm just trying to work out in my head what this character's doing. He's going to come back this way. He's going to get bigger from here, so because he's coming towards the camera. Let's just click here, make a keyframe. Let's scale him up, and then he's going to come back to the center, and he's going to be quite big here. I shouldn't have moved him on that really. I should have just scaled him on this layer. Okay, like that, and then he's going to come to here with that. Okay. Now we need to add some bit more dynamics. Let's just bend his body this way, like he's, whoa, you know, zoom in, and then he's going back the other way now because the shift of weight. We also want all these points to be smooth, guys. This is my own fault again. Smooth just gives it a nice little. Oh, it doesn't like that. It does not like being told to be smooth. I wonder why that is. Linear is fine, but as soon as you put it to smooth. Oh, my phone's just. That's strange. Let's try putting them all to smooth. Maybe that's why. That is why, I think. Yeah. Now, why is that bone so? It's just so like it just snaps that way. Oh, that's fine. And then you kind of settles to this position. something's going. It's because they keep going too smooth. I need to select off there and select smooth as my default. That's what's going wrong. And then we want just a little, just a floaty kind of, something that kind of floaty going on here. So he's just kind of hovering around, just chilling. And we want him to come this way for the anticipation of then going this way, zooming off this way. He's going to go, and then for that he's going to come this way, and then the body's going to go that way, maybe even more so here. You can see how this mesh is kind of, the vectors are going like really like, you see that folder? That's kind of cool, kind of like that. He settles, and then he's gonna go. So that's the body animation done. Let's just do the head turns now and the blinks and things. So he's gonna be looking this way as he comes in, and then he's gonna then turn for this way, and on that turn we want to blink. So let's just add a blink now. Blink, and back open. So you should go, he's going to that way, and then he's going to come this way. He's going to look at the camera, maybe even another blink. Nice long blink. And play about with them. And then he's going to go, because he's going to look to this off shot now, because he's going to go that way, so we're going to get another blink. We can just copy and paste these blink frames here. Let's get a blink here, blink. Let's get this head turn bone ready. Click on the bone to make a keyframe, and then by the time he's over with his eyes, he's looking this way. And then on that, maybe we can get a little, kind of a little squish on him as he blinks. Let's try that. I don't know how this is going to turn out. Just down a little bit. Let's get a squish. So he's going to go squish, and then back up. So let's grab this bone, back up, and then he's going to go that way. See that? Okay. I don't know why he's zooming about like he's a racing car, but that's fine. Let's just end this on frame 1.4. And he zooms out. Now let's quickly just animate the mouth, because he needs something, then he needs, maybe he's mouth closed here. And then he's gonna go to an ooh, because he's a ghost. Ooh. And back to that. I need to remember to keep adding these keyframes, really. That bone, that bone. This, I don't know why this guy's mouth is making me laugh, but it is. And then he's gonna look to the left, and then he's gonna go to an R. Scared R. Yeah, okay. That works. If you want it to be a bit more transparent, you can do that, but It's up to you. I might go to 70% to be fair. I'm not going to do that midway through though, because I think that's going to... Yeah, forget that I've just done that. Hang on. Let's go to frame 0 and let's make him 70% here. And he zooms off. Last but not least, I'm gonna then add a camera zoom, a slow camera zoom even to the scene, just to give it a little bit of movement and a bit of interest. So it's a bit more like you're in the scene. Okay, I'm gonna render this. I'm gonna add some sound effects to it. I'll play that now and I'll let you watch it, what we've made. And I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe even if you want to see more of this kind of stuff. But yeah, cheers for watching guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Ooh. Hmm? Ah! Ooh. Hmm?